Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and sobering: the top 5 brutal wars in world history. War has shaped nations, altered borders, and changed the course of human civilization in ways that are often hard to comprehend. In this video we'll explore 5 of the most devastating conflicts that have left indelible marks on our world. From the staggering loss of life to the profound social and political changes that followed, each of these wars tells a story that is as compelling as it is tragic. As we journey through history, we'll not only highlight the key events and figures involved, but also delve into the broader implications of these conflicts. Why did they happen? What were the underlying causes, and how did they influence the world we live in today? Our goal is to provide you with an engaging and informative overview that sparks your curiosity and encourages deeper reflection on the nature of war and its consequences. We understand that discussions about war can be heavy, but it's essential to recognize the lessons learned from these brutal chapters in history. By examining the past, we can better understand the present and work towards a more peaceful future. So, whether you're a history buff or just someone looking to learn more about the world, we invite you to join us on this exploration of humanity's most intense conflicts. Get ready to uncover the stories behind the battles, the strategies employed, and the lasting impact these wars have had on our global landscape. Let's get started. World War II stands as one of the most brutal and expansive conflicts in human history, spanning from 1939 to 1945 and involving over 30 countries. The war was ignited by a complex web of causes, including unresolved issues from World War I, economic instability, and the rise of totalitarian regimes. The aggressive expansion of Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler, along with Japan's imperial ambitions in Asia, set the stage for a global confrontation that would engulf nations and reshape the world. The scale of World War II was staggering, with major events such as the invasion of Poland, the Battle of Britain, and the attack on Pearl Harbor marking pivotal moments in the conflict. The war saw unprecedented levels of destruction, with cities reduced to rubble and entire populations displaced. The human cost was catastrophic, with an estimated 70 to 85 million lives lost, including the horrors of the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews were systematically exterminated. The brutality of warfare was evident in battles like Stalingrad and the Pacific Theater, where combatants faced not only each other but also the devastating effects of bombings and starvation. In the aftermath of the war, the geopolitical landscape underwent significant transformation. The emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers led to a new era of tension, known as the Cold War. The establishment of the United Nations aimed to foster international cooperation and prevent future conflicts. Additionally, the war resulted in the decolonization of many nations, as former colonies sought independence from European powers, weakened by the conflict. World War II not only changed borders but also redefined global relations, leaving a legacy that continues to influence international politics today. The Napoleonic Wars, fought between 1803 and 1815, were a series of conflicts that marked the rise and fall of one of history's most iconic figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. Emerging from the chaos of the French Revolution, Napoleon quickly rose to power, establishing himself as Emperor of the French in 1804. His military genius and ambitious campaigns led to the expansion of French territory across much of Europe. However, his relentless pursuit of dominance ultimately led to his downfall, culminating in his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 and subsequent exile. The impact of the Napoleonic Wars on national boundaries and governance was profound. The wars resulted in the redrawing of maps across Europe as territories were annexed, ceded, or created anew. The Congress of Vienna in 1815 sought to restore stability by re-establishing monarchies and creating a balance of power, but the changes were not without consequences. The dissolution of the Holy Roman Empire and the rise of new nation-states laid the groundwork for future conflicts and the eventual unification of countries like Germany and Italy. Moreover, the Napoleonic Wars played a crucial role in the spread of revolutionary ideas and nationalism. The principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, championed during the French Revolution, resonated across Europe and inspired movements for self-determination. Nationalism began to take root as people identified more with their nations rather than empires or monarchies. This shift would have lasting effects. fueling revolutions and independence movements well into the 19th century and beyond. The legacy of the Napoleonic Wars is evident in the political landscape of modern Europe, where the echoes of those tumultuous years continue to shape national identities and governance. The American Civil War, fought from 1861 to 1865, was a brutal conflict that arose from deep-seated divisions within the United States, primarily over issues of slavery and states' rights. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860, viewed by many Southern states as a threat to the institution of slavery, triggered a wave of secession. Key battles such as Gettysburg, Antietam, and Bull Run showcased the war's ferocity, with staggering casualties that highlighted the brutal realities of 19th-century warfare. The Civil War remains one of the deadliest conflicts in American history, claiming approximately 620,000 lives. The social and economic impacts of the Civil War were profound and far-reaching. The war devastated the Southern economy, which relied heavily on agriculture and slave labor. The destruction of infrastructure and the loss of a significant portion of the workforce led to a long and difficult recovery. Conversely, the Northern economy experienced growth due to wartime production and industrialization. Socially, the war catalyzed significant changes, including the abolition of slavery through the 13th Amendment, which fundamentally altered the fabric of American society. The war also laid the groundwork for future civil rights movements, as the struggle for equality continued long after the conflict ended. Moreover, the American Civil War played a crucial role in shaping modern American identity. It fostered a sense of nationalism and unity among the northern states, while simultaneously igniting a complex dialogue about race, freedom, and citizenship that persists today. The war's legacy is evident in contemporary discussions surrounding civil rights, social justice, and the ongoing quest for equality. As a pivotal moment in American history, the Civil War not only defined a nation, but also set the stage for its evolution into a more inclusive society. The 30 Years' War, which raged from 1618 to 1648, was one of the most destructive conflicts in European history, driven by a complex interplay of religious and political motivations. Initially sparked by tensions between Protestant and Catholic states within the Holy Roman Empire, the war quickly escalated into a broader struggle for power among European nations. The Protestant Reformation had already created deep divisions, and the desire for political autonomy among various principalities further fueled the conflict. Major players included the Habsburgs, who sought to maintain Catholic dominance, and various Protestant factions, each vying for influence and control. The devastation wrought by the 30 Years' War was staggering. Entire regions of Germany were left in ruins, with cities destroyed and agricultural lands devastated. The war led to widespread famine and disease, resulting in a dramatic population decline. Estimates suggest that up to 1/3 of Germany's population perished during the conflict. The social fabric of communities was shattered, and the economic repercussions were felt for generations, as trade routes were disrupted and local economies collapsed. In addition to its immediate human and economic toll, the 30 Years' War significantly influenced the development of modern state systems. The Peace of Westphalia, which concluded the war in 1648, marked a turning point in international relations. It established the principles of state sovereignty and non-interference, laying the groundwork for the modern nation-state system. The treaties recognized the rights of individual states to govern themselves without external intervention, fundamentally altering the political landscape of Europe. This shift not only ended the era of religious wars, but also set the stage for the rise of centralized governments and the concept of national identity, shaping the trajectory of European politics for centuries to come. As we wrap up our exploration of the top 5 brutal wars in history, it's essential to reflect on the key takeaways from these monumental conflicts. Each war, whether it was World War II, the Napoleonic Wars, the American Civil War, the 30 Years' War, or any other significant conflict, has left an indelible mark on the world. We've seen how these wars were driven by complex causes, including political ambitions, social upheaval, and deep-rooted ideological divides. The staggering human costs and widespread destruction remind us of the devastating consequences of war, not just in terms of lives lost but also in the long-lasting impacts on societies and nations. Moreover, these conflicts have shaped modern identities and governance structures, influencing the way nations interact and the principles of sovereignty and nationalism that we recognize today. The lessons learned from these brutal chapters in history are crucial for understanding our present and guiding our future. It's a reminder of the importance of diplomacy, the need for conflict resolution, and the ongoing struggle for human rights and equality. We encourage you to take a moment to reflect on these lessons and consider how they apply to our world today. If you found this video informative and engaging, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who might be interested in learning more about history's most impactful conflicts. Your support helps us create more content that dives deep into the events that have shaped our world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history, and we look forward to exploring more fascinating topics with you in the future.